Welcome to map number 1 for the Alpha Navigators Cup EMEA 14 finals. And I actually have to update something that I just remembered. There we go, finals. And 0-0. This is a best of 5 as well. So this is a matchup between our player on the lower left. It is B. And actually B is gonna swap to Celestials for this initial matchup. On the other side, it is gonna be Keiras sticking with Celestials for their matchup over here. So what's interesting here is that B has been playing as Infernals all the way through the tournament and just now swapped in for Celestials. So this is a very interesting wind up that could happen. A lot of people cheering for Keiras here in the chat. We'll see if they have what it takes to win this one. So a creation chamber for the side of Keiras to start out with, potentially looking to secure this expansion first, have a good control. I don't think that would qualify as winning the 50 bounty. I'm pretty sure that you'll need to win the series with Infernals to be able to do it. So it would probably disqualify them. Fuck Celestials. Indeed. It seems like B really wants to just win this one though. So he swapped over to the Protoss of Stormgate just for a little while, so that he can have a good result here. So now two creation chambers side by side, one blue, one red. What are we, TF2? Come on, what is this? So both players are in battle in the middle of one of the expansions. It is really gonna be coming down to whoever uses the resources the best, and at the moment I don't know who that could be. So we see B going after the collector's array, the solar collector, the collection array. There we go, third time's a charm, and he's actually gonna destroy it. So this is gonna put Keiras on the back foot quite considerably this time, because he will not have a very important source of income early game. He doesn't have any source of income as far as I know, just a prism that is floating around. And now the other Argents from B are gonna get there, and it's gonna be a quick GG for game number 1. So it is unfortunate, but Keiras is gonna tap out on game number 1, and we're gonna see what happens here on the next matchup, the game number 2 between Keiras and B for the finals of the Alpha Navigators Cup 14 EMEA. So we have on the bottom left, it is gonna be Keiras here in Titan Causeway. They reworked Titan Causeway as well. And on the upper right and slowly shifting towards the bottom left, it is 3DB, who once again has opted to change his faction from Infernals to Celestials just for this match. Interestingly enough, he played Infernals against Celestial players. So this is not a case of truly not having an answer for Celestial and deciding to swap right for the combat. This is B deciding to make the swap on the finals and just going ham with it. So creation chamber for Keiras, almost the same opening as before, and we're gonna see what changes, if anything, happen through the new reworked Titan Causeway. So there has been a number of changes to this map, one of which is that the central sort of shortcut has now been sealed off. Now you have a singular ramp. The Morph Core for B is gonna approach, but it's actually gonna get damaged quite a bit. The Argents are target firing on it, and they actually kill the Morph Core of B that was going all the way through. So this is already going a little bit better than last game. We're gonna have to see how it evolves from there. A second battery coming down to charge up the Argents in a fight. very valuable, very, very valuable here. So one of the power banks has also been Power Surge, which makes it regenerate its energy much faster. A good little trick here that you can do is to aggro the opponent, to aggro the neutral camp that is between you and your opponent, and that will at least force your opponent to push even further a little bit back. So now again, big fight lineup, the energy proving its efficiency, and almost another Morph Core shut down, but this could be a good position. The Sovereign Watch has good view of B's Argents, so Keiras is in a good position to target fire the Argents, and with the Sovereign Watch, he's gonna be able to push those away. Sovereign Watch now for the side of B, and this is where it gets complicated. Now both players have a Sovereign Watch. This whole area, this is no man's land. This is the sort of thing that you watch World War I movies for. Nobody's gonna be entering any of this space right now, because Sovereign Watch is looking over it, and anything that approaches it is gonna get melted by that 20 damage per second. So the Argents are back there recharging, getting ready for the next fight. Power Surges are going through for the battery packs to try and get them up to snuff, or when the time comes that the Argents have to fight. It seems like the time is now. Argents are trying to push forward. Maybe there is enough here to try and have a good fight. We'll see. For a second, the power bank is getting targeted by heavy shots. Neither player wants to really engage here. Sovereign Watch goes down, another one too. It's a fight to the death here. One of the Argents is gonna get pulled back. It doesn't get killed. Another one goes down for B, and two go down for Keiras. So this is actually very bad for Keiras. Keiras lost 3 Argents, whereas B didn't lose any, and he actually has a healing camp back there. Continue to heal up his own units. At the moment, the only thing is the Skyward Salvation keeping up the Argents for the side of Keiras, but these engagements could be very, very deadly. The power bank is gonna go down to the Argent spam. There are potentially other targets now that have opened up because of it. The Argents are still firing on some other power banks. Keiras has only a handful of units, and not all of these units are really capable of doing anything. They don't have the sort of deadly mass that you would need for it. A couple of Argents are actually going to get sent over to the other side of the map to try to damage the economy from B, but with how big Titan Causeway is, that is going to take a very long time. And indeed, it is going to take too much time. Keiras taps out. It is going to be giving B game number 2 as well. And we're heading into map number 3. This is potential match point and series point for B. If B wins, he will be the Alpha Navigators Cup 14 champion, at least for this week. And if Keiras wins, then he'll still need to win 2 more games after that. Sorry, I got a little bit of a burp there. So again, on the bottom left, we have Keiras, and surprisingly, for this one matchup, B has actually switched over to Infernals. So it seems like B is looking to do something different in Isle of Dread, something that he thinks might not be possible with Celestials. And it's very interesting to see that in the shorter, the relative smaller maps, he was going with Celestials as a way to counter the Celestials. But now, for the longer, the sort of bigger maps, he's switching over to Infernals, who, generally speaking, have a better opportunity to win when the matches go long. They have a sort of nicer composition when it comes to the late game, with the Magmadons, with the Hellborns, the Springans, the Harbingers. They have the sort of tools needed to create a cohesive composition of units that can wipe out a lot of things that Celestials in particular can put onto the table, because the main thing that Celestials are going to be chucking out there are small units that can get stunned by the Magmadons, that can get harassed by the Springans, those sorts of ideas. And even Argents are not particularly strong against some of the units that Infernals put out. So it's gonna be interesting to see whether or not Keiras has what it takes to clean house here and get a 1 win under their wings. Be moving forward then and collecting the speed camp from the other side of the map. That is going to be a few extra resources, as well as the speed to move and harass around his opponents. So we'll see what he decides to do on that one. Another Fiend generated. So making a small but considerable size army outside of the gates of Keiras. Keiras playing quite a bit defensively, deciding to keep his Argents and other units right on his base. Meanwhile, the Infernal player, double Conclave, putting out an expansion as well. There's going to be slowly ticking up. More guns for the hunt. Taking many spaces, trying to see if there is any sort of rush, any sort of proxy going on, but nothing else at the moment, just full-on mining for the side of Keiras, going with 3 prisms plus the collection array at the moment. Joining forces here, probably will go for the Therium, perhaps? Some other... Oh, there is a little sneaky, I don't know if... I think B saw this, spotted it, and he's now gonna go and attack. Yeah, he probably spotted it with a Fiend. A little sneaky collection array. And he's now gonna get harassed. It is gonna need to float up, but the moment that it floats up, it is gonna lose the Sovereign Watch. And that's not something that you want to see happen. It is taking a lot of damage. It's at 150, 130, 100. Oh, and there are more guns on the other side. Oh, it's not gonna be able to escape, and the collection array, it is gonna go down. That was one of the key expansion for Keiras. It's now out of the picture. We don't love to see that. Now you have to imagine Keiras must be thinking, well, there is a big army of guns coming. What do I do? I think the main thing is just to stay calm and start preparing the Sovereign Watches. Number of units now moving forward. They're gonna take on the speed, and probably gonna be coming from this side if I had to guess. Picking up that speed, you can see that it is 30 seconds. The movement speed is increased. I'm not entirely sure by how much, but it is increased enough that they're gonna be moving chunkier, faster. Move speed of 5 at the moment, and here come the guns. They're gonna meet the Argents face to face, and a Sovereign Watch power bank. Once again, to show how much speed that is. Once this runs out, this one should update. So it goes from 5 with swiftness down to 4.2. So it's about 0.8 points of speed, which doesn't seem a lot, but when you consider that the guns by themselves can get a speed upgrade, things start to stack up. And we're seeing a Kree now out into the field. A single Kree is not going to be that powerful, nor is it going to be very powerful without its rolling upgrade. But I imagine that that indeed is something that is getting worked on right now. So the Kree are going to use rollout to deal a lot of damage, and we can see that more units are being produced right now for it. No conceivable expansion path for Keiras at the moment. And on the other side of the map, B is actually having a pretty excellent expansion here, actually making sure that it is well protected against some of the things that the Kree can do, like roll up into their opponent's bases, right into the mineral line, right into the Illuminite line, and attack them from there. In the meantime, Keiras still fully saturated Illuminite mine. and that might be enough to keep him in the game for a little while, but we're gonna start to see the signs of what happens when you're against an Infernal with multiple bases that is able to bunch up a lot more units. And a little attack here to get the guns pretty much for free. Didn't take a lot of damage, pretty much any damage from it. Now it's gonna be advancing under the Shroud Stone and trying to get a kill on a few imps. Those are some good hits, but not enough of a critical mass to actually get the kill. He's gonna try again with the rolls. He gets one, maybe gets another, but it's actually gonna lose some of those crees. The explosion is good, but I don't think it's enough to get that many more kills. The supply is still very much in favor of our Infernal player B, and another attack here with the Argents, but it's not gonna be that great. GG gets called and Keiras step out. It is 3DB taking the victory here for the Alpha Navigators Cup 14 EMEA.